Hello and welcome to this gameplay guide for Astroneer. Now, in the previous video I mentioned that we're going to be doing shuttles today, but with shuttles comes some other bits and pieces. Initially, when you go into the queue menu, you buy your shuttle from, I think it's this one. No, it's not that one, it's this one. Right, so you can buy either the small shuttle, which I think is a waste of time, or you can buy the big one, which is around 6,000 bytes. So I've already got that, but I'm going to build one of those. However, your shuttle also needs fuel, and that's where these two other platforms come from. Now, I've shown you this one before, the hydrazine catalyzer. So basically you get the resource of hydrazine, and that's the sort of flat yellow type resource which you dig up, and it slowly becomes, when you refine it, I'm sure I've got one somewhere, or maybe not, maybe I've used them all, but it comes back as a round bobbly shape like that one, and it's yellow in colour. You put 4 of them in there, put some canisters on there, the canisters take one compound, and it will slowly, well, it will draw them in, and it will turn them into power for your fuel for your shuttle. So let's build our shuttle. What do we need? So first we need a vehicle bay, and let's do something, because we don't want to print another large rover. We want a large shuttle, for which we need 2 aluminium. So we've got some aluminium, and you need 2 compound. Right, hopefully I've got some compound lying around. If not, I'm going to have to go and find some. In which case I will pause the video and I will go and find some compound. So there should be some lying around, just not here in my base. Okay, so let me go get some compound, and let's see if some local. Go for a quick dash. I've probably had most of the compound from around the surrounding area. As with all these games, there's no reason, there's a hell. Quick dive down in here, see what's down here, keeping an eye on my oxygen levels. Oh, there's those nasty green blobby things. So this is not ventured down there too far. Maybe later, maybe another day. And my oxygen tanks almost run out. Oh, come on, compound. And some resin. But I don't need resin. Ah, compound. There we go. Let's dig that up. Build another hole for myself to fall into at a later date. So I actually have a couple of compound there. But let's get what compound we can, because I seem to be short of it at the moment. Okay. So I've got 3. Oh, no, see, I'm falling in that hole already, that's no good. Got this aversion to holes. Just drawn to them, like a moth to a flame. Even more so in my rover, funnily enough. As you might have seen from the last episode. Okay, so I think that's everything. Let's bung that hole up, because I don't fancy falling in that again. Seal it over using my stored soil in the canisters. Good. There's a hole I'm not going to fall in. Right, back to base. Let's build ourselves a shuttle. And I am almost out of air. Look. Run. Run. I should make it. Looks like it started coming off of my main tank. Yep. Yep, that looks good. I think. Oh, hold on. Oh, thank God I can get up there. Ah, there we go. Right, so building a shuttle part 2. So we have a large shuttle which takes 2 aluminium and 2 compounds. Now it's important to note that when you build your shuttle, when you take off and land, this is where it's going to land when it comes back. So if you're finished building rovers and that kind of thing, fine and dandy, or you can pick this up and move it, but this will be the permanent landing site for your shuttle. It would be really useful if you could put a beacon somewhere that says, hey, shuttle, land here, but that's not in the game yet. May never be in the game. It's just a wish or just something useful that you could be able to do. Just set a location. But so maybe I should just build this somewhere else, somewhere out of the way. Let's detach it. So now I've just detached it, I can actually pick it up and move it around. So although you can't take the building unit off of it, you can move the table around once you've detached the power from it. Okay, let's just flatten out the land here. We'll put it over here somewhere where it's out of the way. Then I can put my vehicle bay back and start building. If I need to build more rovers, I can. So, top tip of the day: don't just build your shuttles willy-nilly. It could ruin a lot of other stuff. Right, so yeah, somewhere to put somewhere you can mark out a landing pad for your shuttle. So once you build it, it doesn't come back to the same spot. Okay, so let's grab that, twist it a bit, and make a landing pad for our shuttle. Oh, can it reach? Oh no, it's just a little bit too far away. Bring it in a bit, because I really don't want. Come on, attach your swan. Don't tell me you can't reach that. Ooh. Try now. Yeah, there we go. Right, okay. So, let's examine that and realise that the thing is in the wrong way round. Let's touch it and lift it and twist it so it goes in the other direction. Ow! Ow! That hurt. That landed on me. Ow! And then examine. Where's my aluminium gone? I had aluminium, didn't I? Where's my aluminium gone? There it is. Look, it's on the floor. So thrown it away. Just discarded it like rubbish. Right, okay, so there's another one lying around here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's 4 of them. Good gravy, they could have blown away in the wind. Let's put them on that table over there for the time being. But I need one more. It's just there. Now, once again, quick reminder. This planet has storms The moon doesn't for some reason. If you're on the barren moon, there are no storms, so don't bother taking wind power with you if you go. So, compound, aluminium, large shuttle, commence. And the wind's getting up again. There comes a storm. Time to take some shelter. Okay, so because I need to be careful where my shuttle's going to be, I also need to move my hydrazine catalyzer over there. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to move over there the other table, and I will build on that the other piece of equipment, which is really, really useful. Now the reason it's useful is because when you add it just uses power to create rocket fuel. It doesn't use resources, it uses power. So that is a really handy thing to do. So if you run out of resources, or the planet you land on doesn't happen to have the ammonium resource for you to pick up, you can still get rocket fuel to get around. And once this has passed by, still building the shuttle. Now I don't have any wind power. I haven't brought that yet. Wind power is useful. So we'll be doing that perhaps in another video. What I'll be doing is powering your video. So powering your video, powering your base. But for that we need other things, right? So let's take that less power. Let's drop that down there, put that over there. I said on there, not over there. Dynamite, I'm so going to use a lot of that somewhere. Right, let's bang it on there, and then that'll just hopefully create that a lot quicker. It's almost done. There it is. Okay, right, so there's our shuttle, and what that means is that whenever my shuttle takes off and lands, that's where it's going to take off and land. Right, so I'm going to put my vehicle plant back over here. And did I have it just there? Oh, look, looks like it was just there. Right, okay, so put that back in. If I do that, it's going to go. Now, at a later date, you're going to need this back over there. So I'm just going to I'm going to take it back. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is, and I'll explain why. Because at a later date, when you actually want to start putting things on your shuttle, you're going to need this bay to do that. It's landed on me again, because as you see, that builds it on the shuttle. You can't not build them on the shuttle, if you see what I mean. That's really infuriating. They're not quite as modularized as the other bits and bobs. So let's put that there. And as a result, I need to make more space. So if I want to make rovers, I will just build another one of those. That makes sense. More resources again, but it's not too bad. I think there isn't come. I think it just takes a compound. Obviously, we need to make some nice flat space. Now, I'm not particularly worried about the hydrazine catalyzer. I want to show you the other thing. So, the hydrogen catalyzer is useful, I'll bring that over anyway. And we now have a floating rock, look, lovely. Let's dig that out, get rid of it, get rid of that one, get rid of that one, flatten it out again. Ah, that should be enough. Right, let's go get our tables, bring them over here. More interested in this one, to be fair, because this one is the one we're going to build on, and we're more likely to use this one to create the fuel we need. So let's drop that one down there, attach it, and what we need to build is the not the medium printer. It is in fact the fuel condenser, that's it. So where do we build that? Is that not there, is it? Platform A, don't need platform, we need that, research chain, not vehicle bay. We need fuel condenser, for which we need 2 copper. Thankfully, there's some just close by. Really like the fact that you can drag stuff out like that. Meanwhile, whilst that's happening, let's run this over there. Both of these are useful for the shuttle, so we'll keep them near the shuttle. So let's exercise my OCD and straighten. I really wish you could straighten these up. Okay, so we have our package. There's a package. Open it up. There it is. And the canister's on the other side. How annoying. Right, so let's disconnect it. Spin it round. Actually, does it make more sense to have the canister on the other side? Probably does, actually. Because then you're next to the shuttle. Same with this one. Spin it round, so the canister you're going to use is on the shuttle side. Connect. Right. Let's put that there. So we have that. Right, so the canisters are made on your backpack. Small beacon, canisters, right, there we go. Why can't I make this small canister? Because it uses resin, not compound. So, resin. Do I have any resin, or do I have to go out and find some? Yeah, it looks like I'm out of resin. Again, if it's not compound, it's resin. Let's get rid of the compound. I can just don't use my that's got soil in it. However, I can empty those. I don't particularly need them at the moment. I can always make more at a later date. So there's that thing over there. That's where we empty soil. So what we do is we take the canisters, bang them on there, empties the soil, and then this machine we can put a resource in. In this case, I've got lacerite in there, and then I can use that to create more lacerite. Useful. Okay, so let's get this going. What I will do is move those over there, those over there. What you can do is, if you put a medium table on the side, a medium So for some reason you have to press the go button. Why it doesn't just do it. And what that will do is it will fill that canister with the hydrogen fuel. Now we actually have some here, so what we're going to do is we'll put that on the side, and that will fill it up, allegedly. Put that one down there. Now obviously this relies on power, and that's getting low. So medium storage. An empty medium storage would be useful. I think one of those is short, very short indeed. But the idea is this will produce, and if you load it up with canisters, what it will do is it will keep filling them up, and it will swap them in and out, which is very handy. Right, those two go back on my back so I can do soil related stuff. And then you can fill up your tank underneath. Now obviously the small shuttle works in exactly the same way. It has a tank underneath and you can put your canisters on that and that fills up, but it has a less range. It's probably a 2-trip type situation, whereas this you can go to just about every single planet at least once. So I think it's worth saving out for that. Now we need a seat. Now I did see a seat kicking around, not too far away. You can use these. It doesn't have to be an enclosed one-seater. I mean, let's face it, you're in you'd be given oxygen and you've got an air supply from the shuttle. And when you go to another planet, the shuttle becomes your air supply. So, what does that mean? If you leave somebody there, they lose all their air supply? Yes, it does. So, what you need to do is, if you're looking to colonise a planet, to start off with, you will need to have, and if I can find it, you will need what's called a habitat. So that costs 4,000 bytes, and it is printed on the medium printer, which is just here. Now these interfaces are changing, so this is one of the old style interfaces. The new ones you press Q. So it's one-seater, medium storage, drill head, habitat, and it needs 2 copper. I think we've still got some copper kicking about. Seem to have an awful lot of aluminium at the minute. There's at least one. Have I used up all my copper? Do I need to go copper hunting? Or maybe what I could do. So I have malachite. I need malachite ore, don't I? Have I got any of that? That's organic. It's the right sort of shape. Wrong kind of material though. No, I did see some malachite though, didn't we? Oh, there's some. Right, so if we run over here. Okay, so compound lithium, titanium, coal, malachites. Alright, that's saying we can produce a few malachite. Okay, whoops, whatever that's doing. Alright. Let's fill up our soil. Do it like this. Dig down. Dig down, dig deep. Create another hole for me to fall into. as is my way. Got one filled. Oh. So that's and we will definitely be filling this all over. Right, so I've got two there. Let's fill this up. And as they say, give it a whirl. Doing this, injecting the soil into the different canisters, spinning it up, and we now have 2 spare malachite. Let's get my canister back. 2 malachites. So it's always useful to have a sample sitting around for what you need. Where's the smelter gone? Hold on, smelter. I probably just ran straight past it, didn't I? Yeah, there it is. So malachite and malachite. Overflowing with aluminium at the minute. And just like the other ones, it will just swap out when it needs to. That goes. Right, so that's the other bit of copper I needed to create the medium fabricator. Fuel condenser. No, I didn't need that. Something I needed to create, and I can't remember what I was doing. What was it? The habitat. That was it. The habitat. Right. So we need the habitat. That's on the medium printer. There it is. Right next to the smelter, typically. Right. So I actually need to load this up. Now the new ones, that if you've got it on your back, they will actually use it. Right, so there we go. Print a habitat. Now, the habitat stays exactly as it is. Once you deploy it, it's set. But if you're going to go and colonise another planet, this will basically sit on the ground and give you an air supply, but only an air supply. It will not give you a power supply. Well, it does, but it's not very good. And it doesn't, when you deploy it, look like this one in the centre. It just stays like that. So you just go deploy and it's stuck. Now you can build these around your planet as well, because you've got various other bits and pieces. Right, so what we will do is go and have a look at another place once we've filled up our fuel tank. Come on. Are you full? Really think we need another medium. What's it here? What does a medium thingy take? Medium storage. Medium storage compounds. Just saw a couple of compounds, I know. Put a medium storage and bung it on the side of that cat. On there. that off, turn it off, turn it on, put them back on. Now there's room for the canister to flip off when it's full, and another one to flip back on. Now, in the meantime, I don't have any of those. And I could do with one of those, I suppose. Let's use that, because that will provide some power. As you can see, there it is, it's using up the power. There we go. Swaps out, starts up the new one. Let's put that in there. Right, so in the meantime, let's go for a quick explore, because we definitely need more compound. It's always worth, when you're going to a new planet, taking a few basic resources with you, as we have found out, much to our detriment. I've been playing co-op with my friend Dragonbait, and we had an issue where the power ran out. We basically had a power cut, and my friend Dragonbait was stuck in space in the shuttle, and when he came back, I was on a planet with no resources, and when he rejoined the game, he was on the same planet without the shuttle and no resources, and that shuttle never came back, and it had 2 medium batteries on it. We were gutted, and it was really difficult to get some compound. The planet just didn't. This was the Baron, this is the moon, it just didn't seem to have any. It was really difficult to find. I suspect it depends on where you land, but where we landed, it was rich in just about everything else except compound. We found one vein, and that was it, and it wasn't enough to get us going. Plenty of resin all over the place, and research that we couldn't do, but yeah. Really need to get some wind turbines going. Once again, that'll be something that we cover in a different episode, and it'd be worth having a couple of tables with solar panels on it. Wait for this storm to blow over. In a previous video, you've probably seen me dodging the blocks in these storms. It can be done, you can survive, but better seek shelter and your main habitat. Seats in the cars, seats on the shuttles, there's the habitats, there's safe places to sit. Okay, but what we really want to do is we want to get our shuttle into space. Now, to be fair, I haven't actually done this with one of the open seats. I've seen it done, but not quite so sure on it now. They may have updated to require the enclosed seat, and at a later date you may have to add the enclosed seat. It does only take up the same amount of space. I do have some fuel, so what I'll do is I'll just wait for it to fill up this one, bung that on, and that should be enough to get us into space. And then we can land on the moon and deploy our habitat. Now, but then we can come back and get more resources we need because we have the shuttle now. We're going to go to the moon, which is probably orbiting somewhere. There is. We'll land on that. God, this is taking its time. Ho hum. Right, let's see if we can go find some power or something lying around. Let's go into our tunnel. Because let's face it, our base isn't doing a huge amount at the moment, other than... that's a point. I'll drive towards it then. What I was going to do. I'm making a complete mess of this. Is ridiculous. This driving. So back up. Oh, the sun's come up. That's a good start. What I was going to do is I was just going to hook up the so that it provides power from the batteries. Let's see. There's another seat kicking around somewhere. I think there it is. Like that. We'll also use. Let's assume I can put it on. There it is. Do the same there. I think it matters front or back. Do. Oh! Come back! Come back! Stop it! Oh, that happens quite a lot. It's really annoying. I have died like that several times because the rover's decided to flip out on me. Oh! Uh oh! Somebody at the door.